All right, go for it.
Good morning, everyone. It's the notorious, glorious V, the Guerrilla Economist, coming to you live with my main man, El Cuco, where we give you the news, the views, and all the information important to you. Check us out on roguemoney.net. Follow us on Twitter at The Rogue Money and Rogue Money on Facebook. Oh, I hate Facebook. Rogue Money on Steemit, DTube. I don't think we're on BitChute and every other single podcasting app known to humanity. And while we're on this stupid platform here, I ask that you subscribe, like, and share. So we got to beware of what the censors should they dare. Anyway, also check out our sponsors, folks. MyCBDEdibles.com, all sorts of deliciousness. Make it happen for yourself. Get yourself a chocolate peanut butter buckeye. Maybe it's a pecan almond truffle. Maybe it's that coffee that you so crave. Then you need to go to mycbdedibles.com and get yourself some deliciousness. Make it happen. It's oh so good. Get your CBD fix on and rock on with your bad self. And check out also the cryptoschool.io, the cryptoschool.io, now accepting crypto payments. Get over there, make it happen for yourself. It's free money, folks. Learn how you can trade and make free money for yourself over at the cryptoschool.io. And last but not least, check out remaincom.net. Remaincom.net, you got collections issues, debt issues, bankruptcies, foreclosures, whatever the heck is bothering you. Call remaincom.net. Not whatever the heck is bothering you, just financial problems. That's about it. They're not gonna, if your dog died, they can't help you. But anyway, if you got bankers on you and you want to get them off you want them to kick the bankers in the nuts, remaincom.net. Also, guys, if you're sitting on cryptos, you need to liquidate it, but you're scared of Coinbase and you got to fill out a 1099K and a taxable event and blah 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 blah. You don't want to do any of that. Head over to liquidbase.io. Whether you got, if you got $5,000 or more that you want to liquidate, head over to liquidbase.io and have it moved out from fiat to whatever currency you want. I'm sorry, from cryptos to whatever fiat currency you want, liquidbase.io. CJ, with all that out of the way, my man, what's crack-a-lacking?
Hey, good morning, V. Doing great for a Wednesday morning, although I'm losing track of the days because I cannot believe that August just started and it feels like we're already heading towards the middle of the month. But I tell you one thing right now is I think that perhaps a little bit of the wind has been taken out of the sails of the DNCV.
Oh, what's that?
Well, it looks like possibly that in Ohio, for example, it looks like the GOP frontrunner is probably going to end up winning that spinoff election.
Holy crap! I think this morning they announced the winner. Yeah, they hold.
There may I think yes. I think at the end of the day it's going to, but I think that they're just primarily because it's so close the margin that there's like an automatic recount that will be happening in that election, and then apparently there's like over 3,000 what they're calling provisional ballots that are out there, and more absentee ballots that yet to be counted. But right now it's real close. But it looks like Troy Balderson is going to end up out in front for this important election. So yeah,
it's close, man. It's definitely close for the U.S. Ohio 12th district. The Democrats, Danny Connor's doing all sorts of things. He's having zombies, dead people voting. He's having illegals vote. He's having all sorts of people vote 2 or 3 times.
Busloads coming in.
Absolutely. And so, and here's something funny, man. It seems like the left-wing insurgency has hit a wall. This is from the American Mirror. This is not on our list, but I just wanted to pull it real quick. Socialist Star, this dumb girl. Oh that. My God.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She strikes out. All endorsed candidates lose Tuesday primaries. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's record on Tuesday night of her chosen primary candidate was as bare as a Venezuelan supermarket shelf. The socialist pulled off a stunning victory last month in New York and is now attempting to parlay that win into helping other leftists win Democratic primaries. Cortez held a whirlwind tour of the U.S., stumping for Abdul al-Sayed for governor of Michigan. Then she wants Faryuz Saad In Michigan's 11th congressional district, Cory Bush in Missouri's 1st district, and is backing congressional candidate Kaniela Ing of Hawaii. El Sayed lost his bid for the Democratic nomination for governor to 51.8%. He got blown out, bro. He got blown out. Saad came in 4th in the five-way race, capturing 18%. Cory Bush exploded downwards, actually. Lost to William Lacey Clay by 60%. And Hawaii's primary election will be August 11th. So the socialist takeover, bro, of the DNC looks like it hit a wall there, man. It was just, I was hoping for it. I want these nut job idiots who haven't dealt with reality a day of their life, don't know their elbows from their rear ends. I really wanted them to win, man. I wanted that left wing insurgency to really catch fire, but it looks like that's like fizzling out big time. I freaking love it. I mean, really, man, you're gonna have somebody named Abdul Al Sayed and Farouk Al Halman run in Michigan. You expect the American people to vote? You're fucking out of your mind. I love it, CJ. I love it.
Yeah, and what amazes me is that despite their attempts, right? I mean, we know that they are purposely, shadow banning. They're taking out different types of alternative media outlets.
Yep.
They are doing everything that they can to really control all information, including programming people on who they should vote for and who they should support. Now, V, that they absolutely have zero. What policies, what strategies, what do they truly have other than just offering free stuff to people, right? free stuff to people and promising to oust Trump. That's all they have. Those two things, free stuff and oust Trump. That's all they have, V.
Exactly. The whole thing is this. It's like, if they think they can come to the U.S. with the free crap Olympics, we're going to give you all sorts of free crap. Come and get your free crap here, folks. You have a right to it. You have a right to a house. You have a right to a job. You have a right to health care. You have a right. That's like, it shows the childlike. See, here's the thing. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ocasio-Cortez, she is a child. She has a childlike mind. Because a kid says there, be like, oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, everybody should have a house. Everybody should have a job with a living wage. That's the child. And the adults are like, who the hell's going to pay for all this? Huh? What? Well, we just tax the banks and tax the rich. Doesn't know. And this bimbo, this poor girl, this brainwashed girl, you can tell she's a conditioned fool. I mean, God. Well, I talk some sense into this girl, but there's no point, CJ. There's no point. It's brainwashed.
Even the socialist in charge, Nicolas Maduro, has even admitted that his economic model of socialism has completely failed. After people are eating the zoo animals, they're eating their pets.
I mean, Leo the lion is hiding out in his cage in the Caracas Zoo because he's afraid that somebody might come over there and make him into a sopa.
And I hate to make, humor out of the human tragedy out of it, but I mean, that's what you get. I mean, that's what.
CJ, hold on. You said the keyword. You hate to make fun of the human tragedy. Do you know what I saw the other day? I had to tell you, bro.
Go ahead.
So I'm watching on YouTube this documentary, The Missus and I. My wife and I were watching this. And I'm like, honey, look at this. She's like, what? I started laughing. Because you see these Venezuelan fishermen that are going out there and they're, because, the Maduro thought it was a great idea for the petroleum engineers, folks, petroleum engineers of PVDSA, they're a state-owned oil company, to stop trying to create and make more oil and switch gears, and not only switch gears but switch those gears in the way that they should make Habitat for Humanity homes for the poor people because it's the right, CJ. It's the right of everybody to have a house. Everybody should have everybody has a favela in Venezuela. So it's everybody's damn right to have a favela in Venezuela. So these oil rigs went into all sorts of, stages of dilapidation. And there's oil leaking out into the rivers, and there's oil leaking into the area. It's bad. It's a little environmental problems here and there, but oil, in its natural state, eventually dissipates. The Earth has a way of reabsorbing it. Believe it or not, it does. It's funny. I started laughing my ass off, and my wife's looking at me like, "You callous son of a bitch! Why are you laughing?" And then when I explained to her, she started cracking up as well. The fishermen this is what they're saying. We cannot take it anymore. We have all this oil everywhere. And I started laughing. Because you see the guy picking up the oil and flinging, ugh, it's disgusting. This oil is everywhere. It's everywhere. And he's flinging the oil left and right. I started laughing my ass off. I said, holy crap, honey. This country's starving to death. It's eating its pets. It's eating grass. They're rummaging through the trash. They're doing everything. But yet they're floating on oil. The freaking country is starving to death, and they're floating on oil. They're sitting on so much wealth. They can't do nothing about it. Somebody should come here and clean up this oil. Somebody should take care of us. Somebody should give us food. Somebody should give us water. Somebody should... Surrounded by a rainforest, bro. Surrounded by a rainforest with rich soil. Nobody knows how to farm in Venezuela all of a sudden. Nobody knows how to engineer anything in Venezuela. They can't even engineer consent to take out Maduro, to take out the stupid government over there. They can't even do that. They're floating on oil. We can't have no fresh water. I'm like, MFer, you're in a freaking rainforest. There's 1 billion rivers around you. 1 billion rivers. Everybody's thirsty. What the See, Ronald Reagan was right. You give the socialists, if the socialists took over Saharan Africa, they will be importing sand, CJ. Reagan was right. They would be importing sand. This is how dumb these freaking people are. Venezuela, you deserve what you get. You guys are a bunch of morons. A whole nation of idiots. God dang. I can't believe it, CJ.
Well, when you start conditioning people with, we're here, the government, we're here to help. I mean, those are the scariest words.
That's what happens, bro.
Exactly, right? You condition them that they start giving up any type of ambition to start a business, to learn a new skill. Because why? Because the nanny state, the government's going to be there to take care of them.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if you listened to it yesterday, but I was listening to Ken Shorten Jr.'s report
Shotgun on economics, baby.
Yeah, Shotgun economics. And B, did you know that there's a record number of millennials right now that are already filing for bankruptcy?
Oh God!
I mean, it's just so sad. I mean, and they don't understand. Correct me if I'm wrong here, V, but when you file bankruptcy, that doesn't eliminate your student debt, right? That's student debts to the government. That ain't going away.
That don't go nowhere. Thank you, George W. Bush.
So hopefully they've been advised properly that if they're going in and they're paying their $500, I don't know what it is for bankruptcy now, the $500,000, whatever they're paying, thinking that, oh, I'm going to end up much better, not knowing that they're still going to have that huge college debt laying, over their head. It just really concerns me. Think of the long term. Think of the long term effects right now, especially with the economy. 30 years from now, do you think that like Social Security or any of these paid-in programs are going to exist? I mean, what's the tax rate? I don't like taxes, but what do you think the tax rate is now as opposed to people paying into the system versus 25 years ago? With a full-time economy, with everything going on. I mean, people need to understand. They need to open their eyes to understand that, my gosh, things are going to be changing pretty darn drastically in the future. And based upon recent events, based upon Trump's actions with trade, everything else, I think he understands that we need to bring back a lot of industry, a lot of manufacturing. We need to do that pretty darn quickly, or else we're going to potentially find ourselves in a pretty bad situation. B.
Absolutely, man, 1,000%, without a doubt. It's a broken system. I mean, you're going to commit bankruptcy. You're going to do bankruptcy. Fine. Okay. Your credit score is ruined. 7 years or so. They always say in 7 years, you're going to be fine. No, your credit score is shot forever. It literally is shot forever unless you have somebody go in there and fix it for you, like we can over at remaincalm.net. You can remove those bankruptcies, but that's getting trickier and trickier to do because as the changes that are happening with the credit unions and everything moving to the blockchain, these millennials are damn near doomed. The whole system, folks, the whole system from the foundation to the topmost stone has to be done away with. It has to be done away with because this is the type of crap that happens. Nobody gets ahead. You got these dumb millennials, the snowflake generation, which they have, think about it. These are some of the people who have negative savings and they're declaring bankruptcy, not knowing that, thinking that they're going to get a fresh start. No, it's still the same situation. You still can't move ahead. Your gay art therapy degree is not going to get you a job that's going to pay you well. They're screwed, and they're facing off. I mean, what's your gay art therapy degree going to do against a robot? You need to hire me. Why? I have a degree, a master's in gay art therapy. I got it at SUNY New Paltz University. It's an amazing, and I minored in women's studies and gender studies. Okay, sure, yeah, whatever. Crazy, man, crazy. Anyway, Siege, with all the things that are happening, the Democrats literally losing their shirts everywhere they go. Their blue wave turning into a blue drizzle at every nook and corner of the where you look. Russia collusion looking like a total hoax, and rumors of Trump about to release an unredacted version of the FISA warrants, which put Rod Rosenstein's panties in a bunch, as well as that guy. What's his name again? Peter Victoria's Secret Strzok. Peter Strzok, who I am convinced, folks, wears women's underwear. I mean, look at Peter Strzok. He wears woman's lingerie underneath his suit that he reports. He has a brassiere on and panties, tight panties. That's what Peter Strzok wears.
Have you ever tried it? It's actually fairly comfortable. I'm just kidding.
I'm speechless. CJ, what you do in the privacy of your does Kim know this about you?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I feel sorry for your wife, man. I'm sorry. CJ, I love you, man. All right. All right. So let's look at this real quick, right? We knew it was only a matter of time with AJ, aka Alex Jones, being taken out by social media idiots. The Senate Democrats, folks, they can't, leave well enough alone. The Senate Democrats are circulating plans for a government takeover of the internet. Okay, Reason Roundup plus testing telemedicine. What? Okay, all your base belong to us. A leaked memo circulating Senate Democrats contains a host of bonkers authoritarian proposals for regulating digital platforms. Purportedly as a way to get tough on Russian bots and fake news, to save American trust in our institutions, democracy, free press, and markets. It suggests that we need unprecedented, undemocratic government intervention into online press and markets, including a comprehensive data protection legislation of the sort enacted in the EU, titled Potential Policy Proposals for Regulation of Social Media and Technology Firms. I love how they pick these innocuous titles that are so villainous and heinous, CJ, but yet these innocuous, harmless titles, it's for our own benefit and good. Look at this. Here's how they suggest it. Here's how they're suggesting it. Okay, they're suggesting mandatory location verification. The paper suggests focusing social media platforms to authenticate and disclose the geographic origin of user accounts or posts. I suggest everybody to download a VPN and place it in Russia. Could you imagine tens of millions of Americans using a VPN and setting the VPN location as Moscow?
Oh, gosh.
Mandatory identity verification. Listen to this one. The paper suggests forcing social media and tech platforms to authenticate user identities and only allow, quote, authentic accounts. Inauthentic accounts not only pose threats to our democratic process, because CJ, they arrested 12 Russians. 12 Russians is all it took to put our government in jeopardy, CJ.
That's probably all it would
do. They want to do bot labeling. They want to label who these bots are. They want to define popular culture tech as essential facilities. See, here's the problem that this whole Alex Jones banning has put social media in a precarious crosshairs that nobody else is talking about. Okay. Social media, Silicon Valley nut jobs. Here's a lesson in waking up from the gorilla to you. You have two choices before you, you idiots. Number one, you are a platform. Number two, you are a publisher. Okay? Those are the only two choices of who you are, and this is how we need to define you. I'm not worried about the Democrats wanting to ban social media and regulate the internet and this, that, and the other. It's not going to happen. Their little ploy is going to fall apart just as it did in much of the EU. But here's the thing to you social media nut jobs, you Mark Zuckerbergs, you pig-faced morons of Twitter and whatnot. You're either a platform or you're a publisher. If you're a platform, you have no business in censoring because you're simply a platform. You're benefiting off the content created by others in which you take advertisement revenue. You're a platform. You stay innocuous. It's not your fight. People don't like a specific channel. They don't subscribe to it. People don't like a specific content creator. They don't listen to him or her. But you guys, which initially started as a platform, we're a social media platform. We're a media streaming platform. You switch from that. Now, all of a sudden, guess what you guys are starting to do this as a platform that you're not supposed to do as a platform by law. You start censoring. You start wiping out. You start erasing, deleting. You start doing all these different things. And now you are curating. You are curating what your users can see and or hear. So if you're curating what your users are seeing and hearing via banning this and censoring that and controlling this and twisting that, then you're no longer a platform. You've become a publisher. And if you're a publisher, you've lost the whole entire thing of saying, we're a platform and we can ban this, that, and the other. Your whole thing goes out the window. And this whole entire thing, CJ, we're a private held company. No, you're not. None of you are a private held company. Last I checked, CJ, every single one of these idiots in Silicon Valley has gotten what? Government subsidies.
Government money. Absolutely.
Okay? Every single one of them. They've gotten tax benefits. Okay? Every single one of them. And they've gotten tax relief. Every single one of them. There is nothing private about them whatsoever. So if they're a publisher, then they waive that entire, we get to censor this, that, and the other because we're a platform, blah, blah, blah. No, you're not. You are supposed to be a platform. And this is the big deliberation that's going to be taking place in the next few days. This has put a huge, huge spotlight on the idiots in social media. And Siege, right now, if I check right now, InfoWars' official app is the number 3 in the top free news applications. Number 3 right now, sitting at. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And all it's done is really just energized the timeline. It's sped things up for people to understand that, look, again, we've always talked about participating. It's been very difficult to navigate away from them, but now more people are going to understand the need to do so. I mean, listen, some of the antics and some of the things that Alex Jones was doing that, I would not support, the constant, clickbaits with civil wars happening on July 4th. And then also, I don't think that we need to be purposely out there, like having events in specific know are going to create friction, to create potentially violent situations. I mean, it's okay, yeah, if you're having a peace rally or some type of demonstration, but I don't think we purposely need to be doing that in these areas in hopes of it drawing those individuals out, the Antifa crowd, those in hopes of getting more views and clicks. That's where I draw a line. You're gonna say, now, if it's an event, if it's a scheduled event, absolutely go for it, but not to be coordinating to say, hey, this is something that we need to do. We need to go there and create this scenario in hopes of just getting, more views, more clicks and things. That's where, to me, it's kind of like one of those things that it doesn't make sense to me, V, at all.
Yep. And moving on, man. We want to look at. Let's look at the. I mean, it's just hot. It's hot right now. So
you pick it.
Let's talk about the Twitter purgatory, man. I mean, this is since we're on the topic of social media. Behind the scenes at the Twitter purge, Scott Horton, Peter Van Buren, and Daniel McAdams. Sunday suspension and banning of anti-war and libertarian Twitter users. Peter Van Buren, a whistleblower, Scott Horton, antiwar.com editorial director, and Daniel McAdams, Ron Paul Institute director, is all over the media today, including on Drudge and Zero Hedge. Why would you purge anti-war guys? Why would you purge people who are basically peaceful, like libertarians who just like live and let live? It's unreal, man. Unreal.
Yeah, this just, again, is just more evidence to show that there is a systematic approach that's happening here to shut down any type of counter narrative, any type of people that are opposing the news or analyzing or doing their own investigation report. So they are out there now just wanting to just control the information, control what people think, really taking the whole idea of daily programming to a whole nother level. They want to control it, and this is all being done on purpose, V. I mean, it's a systematic. You cannot tell me that at some point there was no coordination of events here. Behind closed doors somewhere, there was a meeting where they had these either CEOs, whatever, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. They had a conference call to say, hey, here's what we're going to start doing, because so at that point, where not only become a political organization that should be labeled as that, but more importantly, who decides who on their platform, who is their authority person to decide what and what not content is allowed, what speech is not allowed to be controlled. So this is just going to, again, just kind of really rally the troops, where people are going to say, what, enough is enough. Let's stop purchasing items from those companies that are advertising, that are propping these organizations up. It's time that we really start assessing those things, because, again, why are they ramping this up now? Because we're going into the midterms. Whatever they have working around the corner, that's the thing that they're wanting to control. So we just have to be very mindful of that.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% correct. It seems like Exceptional Stan is at it again, my friend. Pigs will fly before hostile hubristic agreement incapable empire peels Russia away from China. Since 1991, the former end of the Cold War between the United States and Soviet Union, the world has experienced an American unipolar moment, a schizophrenic moment none the least, but a moment nonetheless, as the bipartisan U.S. policy establishment sought to consolidate and perpetuate its hegemonic control over the entire planet, doomed to fail even before it received its fullest articulation in 1996 by neocon ideologue Bill Kristol and Robert Kagan, misleadingly billed as toward a neo-Reaganite foreign policy. That misbegotten moment, thankfully, is coming to an end. The main question today is whether the grinding to a halt of a quest so foolish and destructive can peacefully devolve into a tripolar entente among the U.S., Russian, and China, or whether the entrenched Washington establishment will, Samson-like, crash everything down in a desperate but futile attempt to hang on to its power and privileges. We appear to be approaching the cusp at which that question will be resolved one way or the other. what the Trump administration does next with respect to Iran will be key, perhaps decisive indicators. Now, folks, there is for quite some time a move that has gotten into some circles to separate the relationship that China has with Russia. And I will tell you unequivocally, without any doubt or hesitation, that will never happen. I think we have a better chance of scooping up all the ice from Antarctica with a ice cream scooper, CJ, than for us to end that relationship. It is a mutually beneficial, symbiotic relationship between the two powers that we who are basically as reliable as water, in a cup that's held by a Parkinson's patient. We that are as reliable as man, you take your pick. We're about as reliable as a Hugo. If those that don't know, those are the cars back in the early 90s. We're about as reliable as that. Who can't hold on to any agreements, treaties, or whatnot. No, we're not going to rip apart from them. I think the way forward here, folks, is for a tripolar world with the U.S., China, and Russia, all of them working cohesively and in unison. That is an era of world peace. Yes, we're going to be rivals. Yes, there's going to be competition, but competition is a good thing. We can compete, not militarily, but economically through deals and whatnot. Now, remember one of the things that Trump has said, and I've caught this a few times. He said this in public. He's like, I'm not opposed to talking with Iran. If they want to talk, I'm willing to talk. That's basically what he's saying. I do believe this is a negotiating tactic, just like how he's negotiating the tactics over at North Korea. So we shall see exactly how it happens. And the bigger question becomes, okay, Mr. President, what's going to happen is once you leave office, what if we have a major flaming libtard coming in or a neocon coming in and he says, you know what, screw the energy deals, screw this treaties, we're going to go back to our crazy schizophrenic foreign policy and go back to a war footing. Then what? These are the questions that pose us. I love what the president is doing. I love what Trump's doing. What's going to happen when he leaves office? And this is why the midterms are so damn important, that we come out hardcore and hard body on the midterm elections in November to win this country back. We have to do it. Okay, we have to do it. The midterms come around, we show up hardcore and vote to get every single one of these deep state cretins out of office and out of power. That's what needs to happen. If we can do that, if we can get a term limits set in for Congress and Senate, we stand a chance of turning this country around. We'll go through this coming global economic reset, and things will be fine. Okay, so that's the onus that we need to do our part in order to make America great again. What else is on the radar, Siege?
Nothing, not a whole lot else. I mean, there's a lot of other things as far as like just small, like little bits of things that really are just kind of more distractions than anything. The whole Canada, Saudi Arabia little riff where that the Canadians have upset the Saudis by calling out some of their humanitarian issues, and now the Saudis are like, well, we're fine, we're banning all flights to Canada, and by the way, we're no longer going to put our 22,000 students in Canada and give them free tuition because they know that there's no jobs for them in Saudi Arabia.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, no, that's it. Make sure yesterday we did a couple of different shows. So if you have not listened to them yet on our YouTube channel, go back and check those out. Yesterday's interview and I just is it Aaron? Yes, Aaron with his what was the name of his website? I love it. The Asshole Consulting. Is that right?
Asshole Consulting.
Asshole Consulting. Very interesting guy. I would definitely go check that out. But we appreciate it. So like, share, and subscribe.
Absolutely. And with that being said, folks, we are over and out. Take it away, CJ.